When petting your cat, especially around the head, there are several warning signs to watch for to avoid overstimulating or upsetting your feline friend. Cats, while affectionate, can be sensitive, and understanding their body language is crucial for a positive interaction. Ignoring these signs can result in stress, fear, or even aggressive reactions. Here are 12 science-backed warning signs you need to know before stroking your cat's head. Number 1. Sudden movement or escaping. If your cat suddenly gets up and walks away after being petted, it's a clear sign that it's had enough. Cats are independent animals and will remove themselves from situations that make them uncomfortable. If your cat abruptly leaves after being stroked, respect its space and let it come back on its terms. Sudden movement or fleeing is a cat's way of ending an interaction that has become too much. Cats are more sensitive to physical touch than humans, and prolonged petting, especially on sensitive areas like the head, can lead to discomfort. By walking away, the cat is asserting its need for personal space. Number 2. Refusing eye contact. Cats often make eye contact with their owners when they are feeling secure and relaxed. If your cat starts avoiding eye contact during petting, this can be a subtle sign that it is no longer comfortable. Cats will often look away when they are feeling anxious or overwhelmed, indicating that they need some space. Avoiding eye contact is a sign of submission or discomfort in many animals, including cats. If a cat is overwhelmed by head stroking, it may look away to signal that it no longer wants to engage. Continuing to pet the cat, despite this signal, can lead to more overt signs of stress or irritation. Number 3. Sudden head turn toward your hand. If your cat suddenly turns its head toward your hand while you're stroking it, this is a clear warning sign. This action can indicate that your cat is on the verge of swatting or biting. Cats have a limited tolerance for being touched in certain areas, and a sudden head turn is often a precursor to more defensive behavior. Scientific reason, cats may allow petting up to a certain point before feeling overwhelmed. A sudden head turn is a signal that their threshold has been reached, and continued petting might result in an attempt to stop the interaction with a bite or swat. Number 4. Tense body posture. A relaxed cat will usually have a loose, comfortable posture with soft, flexible muscles. However, if your cat becomes tense or rigid during petting, it's a strong indication that it's no longer enjoying the interaction. This might include the cat hunching up, tensing its legs, or preparing to spring away from your touch. When a cat becomes physically tense, it's preparing for action, usually because it feels threatened or overstimulated. The tension in the body is part of a fight or flight response triggered by too much physical interaction, especially in sensitive areas like the head. Number 5. Flattening of the ears. One of the most immediate and visible signs that your cat is uncomfortable is when they flatten their ears back against their head. This is often an indication of fear, irritation, or overstimulation. Cats use their ears to express emotion, and flattened ears are a sign that they are not happy with the situation. If you notice this behavior while petting your cat, it's best to stop immediately. Cats have an acute sense of hearing, and their ears are sensitive to touch. Flattening them can also be a way to protect themselves from perceived threats. Continuous head petting might overstimulate them, causing this defensive response. Number 6. Fast or heavy breathing. While a calm and content cat will breathe slowly and regularly, heavy or rapid breathing can indicate stress or anxiety. If your cat starts breathing faster than normal during petting, especially head stroking, it's a sign that it's becoming overwhelmed and should be left alone to calm down. Fast breathing is a physiological response to stress. When a cat's nervous system is overstimulated, it may start to breathe more rapidly to prepare for potential action, such as running away or fighting back. Petting a cat in a way that makes it uncomfortable, such as prolonged head stroking, can trigger this response. Number 7. Twitching skin or rippling fur. Some cats show early signs of overstimulation by twitching their skin, especially along their back or shoulders. This phenomenon is often referred to as feline hyperesthesia or rolling skin syndrome. If you notice your cat's skin rippling or its fur twitching in response to being petted, it's a good indicator that the petting is becoming too much for the cat to handle. The twitching of skin is a neurological response to overstimulation. Cats' nervous systems are highly sensitive, and repetitive petting, especially in sensitive areas like the head, can result in an involuntary twitching of the skin. This is often a precursor to more overt signs of irritation, such as swatting or hissing. Number 8. Tail twitching or lashing. A cat's tail can tell you a lot about its emotional state. While a slow, relaxed tail flick might indicate contentment, fast twitching or lashing from side to side is a clear sign of agitation. Some cats enjoy being stroked only for short periods, and their tail can be the first indicator that they've had enough. The more aggressively the tail moves, the more likely it is that your cat is becoming irritated. Tail movement is closely linked to a cat's nervous system and emotional state. When a cat's tail starts twitching rapidly, it can mean the cat is experiencing an internal conflict, whether it wants to enjoy the petting but is also getting overstimulated. Too much head petting can trigger this reaction, as the nerve endings on the head are highly sensitive. Number 9. Dilated pupils. Dilated pupils can be a sign of excitement, but they can also indicate fear or discomfort. If you're petting your cat and notice that its pupils are dilated, it may be best to stop and give it some space. Dilated pupils often accompany other signs like tense body posture or twitching tails, all of which point to overstimulation. The dilation of pupils in cats is a physiological response to arousal, whether that's from excitement or fear. When a cat's pupils dilate during petting, it may indicate that the stimulation has become too intense and the cat is preparing to defend itself if necessary. Number 10. Swatting or biting. One of the most obvious warning signs that you've overstepped your boundaries is when your cat swats at you or attempts to bite. This is a defensive action that occurs when the cat has had enough of the petting and is trying to stop the interaction. Swatting or biting can often happen suddenly if earlier warning signs were ignored. Swatting or biting occurs as a last resort defense mechanism. Overstimulation in sensitive areas like the head can overwhelm a cat's nervous system, triggering this aggressive behavior. Cats use these tactics to establish boundaries when verbal cues like meowing or hissing aren't effective. Number 11. Hissing or growling. Vocal warnings, like hissing or growling, are clear indicators that your cat is not happy with the petting. These sounds are defensive and usually occur when a cat feels cornered or overwhelmed. Ignoring these vocalizations can escalate into more aggressive behaviors, such as scratching or biting. Hissing and growling are part of a cat's defensive repertoire. When a cat feels threatened or overstimulated, these vocalizations serve as a way to ward off further interaction. Head stroking, especially if it becomes too repetitive or invasive, can push a cat to its limit and provoke these defensive sounds. Number 12. Ears back and whiskers forward. If your cat pulls its ears back but pushes its whiskers forward, it's sending a mixed signal of discomfort and attention. While forward whiskers usually indicate interest, in this context, it may mean the cat is preparing to defend itself if the petting continues. This combination of signals shows that the cat is conflicted. It's curious but also ready to react aggressively. Cats use their whiskers to gauge the environment and detect potential threats. When they push their whiskers forward while flattening their ears, they are likely assessing the situation while also preparing to take action if needed. This behavior suggests that the cat feels uncomfortable with the ongoing interaction and is deciding whether to retreat or defend itself.